SKT's first win.
Thank you. Quick shot. I'm coming to you first, Yamato, because you spoke about the consistency and the similarities between these teams, with SKT just being a superior team. Now, we did see the gold lead between these teams to be relatively similar up until the 20-minute and beyond mark. Do you feel that this game was pretty much an accurate representation?
I think exactly. Like the game panned out as I thought it would be. I think H2K kind of stepped up. I thought they played better than I thought they would, but it kind of showed the similarities, and SKT were just a step ahead in almost anything that happened.
Oh, I disagree. I thought SKT played a lot worse than I expected. Faker,
oh, that's true, yeah.
Faker was so cocky with the engages against Gragas, just getting flash slammed every single time. It was very telegraphed, and it was basically just Marin carrying on Fiora very hard, as well as out-pressuring H2K with the wave control.
Well, and that was a part of it, too. I mean, I don't agree with Faker's kind of macro or micro decisions when he was trying to go in, get fancy with the Sand Soldier bending and everything like that, obviously. And I think he was late on using some of his summoner spells at times, so it wasn't looking particularly good for him in team fights. But if we think about how they played around that mid lane and the pressure that Faker was consistently putting down, bottling up this LeBlanc, really preventing Ryu from going anywhere, getting the deep wards in and starting to take over the enemy blue buff, that was a much more positive sign. That said, Marin was pretty late on some of his TPs to some of these fights, and his individual performance once he got there was okay, but he needs to react faster because these skirmishes are going to be the story of the good teams at Worlds, and he's got to be there on time.
So a little bit of rust there for SKT, but the Fiora has been mentioned, and it speaks to me that H2K had the opportunity to first rotation Fiora if they so pleased. Didn't, stuck with the Gnar, handed that Fiora, which is a relatively powerful champion. We've just watched it take over a game. What does this say about Ottawamne for future games in this group?
I think taking the assessment that, I think they were hoping that Fiora was, that Marin does not play Fiora. I think that was, the idea of it, because Gnar is not completely, a bad pick. I think, pick and ban-wise, I think it was completely fine. Even though, my only surprise is that the first two games of the day, Fiora was open and not played.
That is true. We did not see that. Monty, I want to go back to the statistic that you threw out in the pregame, which was, the 10 to 20 minute for SK, which we didn't necessarily see, but what we did see was the statistic around the deficit for H2K. Exactly a 1K gold deficit at 20 minutes, and they were unable to secure the win. What's going on there?
They're bad when they're behind. What do you want? They can't come back. I don't think it was a surprise. I think that it was. I predicted 25 minutes for that game. It ended up being 30. But SKT decisively closed that out, and you saw how well they chained objectives into each other. And there was really no way that H2K could respond after that. But a lot of that was just the vision control. We know that SKT is a great team around Dragon. That is a big priority for them, and that was just another win condition to help close it out. H2K couldn't get vision down on anything because of the pressure, and it's really difficult to come back in that kind of situation.
I think we're really starting to see the strength of Elise, and it seems like the teams are really undervaluing just how powerful this champion can be in terms of pick potential and the ability to take objectives down faster than any other jungler right now. Gragas is nerfed. He doesn't really offer that ability to take objectives very quickly or get those picks without his ultimate. He's really relying on that ability. Elise at all times is going to be used so she can solo the dragon very easily. She will assist in Baron better than almost any other champion with the Spiderlings, tankling, the percent damage in. I think it should be banned more. We're seeing these first picks over Fiora, over I don't remember the other ones, but we're seeing it as a first pick. There's a huge priority in this champion, and I don't want to see these teams lose just because they let this champion go through.
A lot of priority there. Final thoughts, Yamato?
It's when I think of the Elise, I just wanted to elaborate about how I see the Elise. I feel like Elise is a champion that almost guarantees you to have the stronger 2v2 matchup in top lane if you fight, just because Elise is just so much stronger than any other jungler in the game. I think that is the main idea behind Elise.
Exactly, and in the mid lane, when we saw Faker chunk out Ryu, since it was so aggressive, Elise can show up to mid at any time and just 2v2 the lane and just take the tower. You're going to get more tower damage, and Gragas cannot do a thing about it.
Now, I want to push us ahead to our next matchup. Get your predictions for the EDG and BKT matchup that is going to be coming up. I have a feeling I know which way this one's going as well. It's a very agreeable desk today when it comes to predictions. Monty, we're starting off with you.
Well, I think realistically, the Titans are going to be more like the Titanic in this tournament. They're going down fast, and they're going down hard. It's EDG.
All right, Crumbs?
It's EDG as well. Come on, man.
It's a format. The graphic is up. I have to do it. What do you want from me, Yamato? Close us out.
EDG.
EDG as well. Well, no surprises there. We are going to step away while the team set up for our 4th game of the day. As we go, we'll get a closer look at Chips Noir and the amazing French League community that has been bringing the hype to this year's World's Group Stage.
Et c'est parti pour la grande finale.
League of Legends, c'est hyper développé en France et on en est arrivé à avoir une énorme communauté de joueurs. Les gens sont hyper investis au niveau de l'e-sport, nous on essaie de le diffuser en masse, autant de compétitions que possible. Et les gens suivent la scène, ils sont passionnés, ils sont super intéressés, ils ont toujours leur mot à dire. Tout le monde est bouillant et j'ai l'impression de regarder un match de sport traditionnel.
Il y a eu les All-Stars à Paris l'année dernière qui ont vraiment bien aidé l'e-sport. C'est surtout cette année que ça s'est vraiment bien concrétisé, quoi. Et ça va continuer, je pense.
Il y a toujours l'ambiance et on voit tout le monde devient fou dès qu'il se passe un truc. Chez soi, c'est aussi bien de regarder un peu, mais on ressent pas autant qu'ici avec tout le monde qui devient fou pour rien, avec tout le monde qui fait du bruit. Et puis il y a les commentateurs qui sont juste à côté, qui mettent vraiment de l'ambiance. Avec tout le monde, c'est vraiment pas pareil.
Et les Français aiment crier. Les Français, ils ont le sang chaud. Moi, je trouve que déjà la communauté est motivée et passionnée et très bon esprit.
Et je pense qu'on a un des meilleurs publics du monde. Il y a vraiment cette passion et cet intérêt incroyable pour le jeu. Et je pense qu'au niveau du public, la France renvoie une excellente image dans le monde sur League of Legends. Le fait d'avoir pendant 8 jours les Worlds chez nous, c'est juste fantastique en fait pour la France et pour moi c'est juste la récompense, c'est la récompense ultime.
C'est un très beau cadeau. Enfin, honnêtement, on n'osait pas l'espérer. Je pense aussi c'est une récompense. C'est une récompense pour les Français qui a un public vraiment passionné.
Quelle que soit l'équipe, on sera toujours derrière l'équipe qui gagnera et on sera toujours derrière le challenger par exemple qui pourra prendre la meilleure équipe et essayer de les battre. On dit qu'on est l'un des meilleurs publics du monde et je tiens à ce que ça le reste et on donnera le meilleur.
Personnellement, c'est la consécration de 4 ans de commentaires et c'est pour moi une énorme récompense et un honneur de pouvoir entamer, de pouvoir commencer les Worlds. Je ne pouvais pas rêver plus beau cadeau.
Pour moi, je considère vraiment que c'est un aboutissement. Alors il faudra du coup que je me trouve d'autres buts éventuellement après, mais là je touche le sommet. Ouais, c'est la concrétisation absolue.